Good evening.
Just turn it up so we can hear.
Yeah, I wish I could help you with that, man. I'm the worst tech guy you can find.
Yeah, hit that. It ain't much. Okay, got that.
Somebody's coming in. I'll let somebody's coming in. Contest!
Hey, I tried to call you earlier.
Hey,
Huh?
huh?
I tried to call you earlier.
Did you try to come?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get this call.
Oh,
So because I want to do a candles night at African American Museum.
okay. Okay. I got it.
Yeah, because I got
Okay. Good evening.
I want to get candles.
Good evening. Tonight we're going to be dealing with want versus need. Want versus need. And we're going to define the parameters of both. I apologize for not being with you last week, but I was undergoing some problems that I had. So I'm through it now, but I'm back. Tonight, want versus need. In the Bible, God said, I will supply your every need if you believe in me and trust in me and depend on me. I will supply your every need. It does not say, I will supply your every want. No, it didn't say that. It said your every need. And then I went to look at need. Need is the stuff that will sustain life. Need is that stuff that sustains life. Okay? And God said, I give you all of this to the point you will never hear of my people begging bread from anybody. Because I will give you the stuff to sustain life.
That's true.
He did not say, I'll give you Cadillacs and mansions and all that, but the stuff to sustain life. Why? While you were on earth and space, element, energy, and motion. And I would give you all the stuff that you need on earth without begging another man.
Yep.
Now,
You know what you want, what you need.
what you need. Now, when you look at the news and you see Ibrahim Traoré and the Africans over in Burkina Faso, they have everything that they need. And when they kicked the Europeans out, they weren't willing to deal with the stuff that God gave them to supply their need. They wasn't begging the English and Americans for the stuff. They was just looking at the natural resources that God gave them to supply their need. And under the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré, they found that they had everything they need to be a whole country without begging anybody, any European countries, to do anything for them.
Amen.
Because God had supplied their needs. So what happened when a person grow outside and start wanting more than
They can have
they
it,
need?
or they can have it.
When a person starts wanting more than they need, it produces a thing called greed. It produces greed. And what is greed? Greed is excessive of the stuff that you need. You got excess of the stuff that you need. And because people develop greed, they don't develop kindness and love and sharing with greed. It doesn't come with greed.
They can.
They don't develop that with greed. And so they start altering things. It's not altering things. Altering things. Why do people halt to things? People halt to things to impress
people.
other people. Why? Why would I want to impress this man unless I want to impress him to the point I need to use him to a certain degree? Look at all I got, look at all this. So he's impressed now. What did impress mean? Impressed mean he want some of my greed. And so I use that to use him. Men does it very well, and women do it very well. Men make money and buy cars and big fine houses to impress culturally retarded women. They do.
And so women.
Why I say
call it mean.
Why do I call it culturally retarded?
Yeah,
Because when a woman is culturally into her health, interest, rights, and needs as it relate to a church, government, spirit, church, government, business, clinic, home, and school, she's not impressed with your things. Because she know everything is scientific. Given to us by God, everything is a scientific process for us to work to make sure that we ascertain our needs. If she's not culturally retarded. But if she's culturally retarded, her thing is to gain as much of your greed as she can. That's why women marry men who have a lot of money. Their marriage ain't because they love the man. Their marriage is because they want what the man has.
all you get.
To the point that some women will not even marry a man if he asks for a prenuptial. A prenuptial. Michael Jordan has a prenuptial with his wife. If something happened, they break up, she get $1 million for every year she's been with him. And you know how much money Mike got. But she only get $1 million for every year she's been with him. And if she stay more than 5 years with him, she get $5 million. In addition to the other bills. So that's, he called that a prenuptial. Because Michael could see that women match up with men based on greed. Based on them. See, they ain't nothing but a, call it what it is. It's a high-priced prostitute. Selling herself for goods and privileges. Me versus one. Man was not created to want golden Cadillacs and big men. Man was created to develop, to making a nation. Man was created to develop nations where people can live safe in harmony, grow and develop their children in a safe, peaceful environment. That's why God created man. And to worship God himself and to honor God. That's why man was created. To love himself and to love God. But when greed and things come into being, people start loving things.
That's true.
Now, when I say that, when I say space, element, energy, and motion, in the Bible, it tells us there's things that seem right to a man, but in the end, they lead to destruction. There are ways that seem, space, element, energy, and motion spell, seem right to a man, but in the end, it leads to destruction. So when man starts worshiping things, he's already on that slow road.
Thank you, sir.
He's already on that slow road to destruction. Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Good, excuse me, sir.
We're talking about, tonight we're talking about want versus need. And
There's a difference.
yeah, it is. And God gave us everything that we need. And if long as we worship him and be faithful to him, and you worship God, you will not beg bread from another man. Because God will supply you every need.
Amen.
See? But when you're out of harmony with God, it puts you in a begging relationship with a man. See, you got to live, and you're out of harmony with God. That means you at the pity of the world. Man should never be out of harmony with God.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus.
And then a woman, and if you out of harmony with God and ascertain riches, when a woman come along, she don't marry you because she love you. She marry you because you got money. And wise men have started getting prenups. Because they see the onslaught coming. So they go out and pick the lightest and the brightest and the fairest with the big butt. But they know in her heart is larceny. And so they said, no. Like Jordan said, no, I ain't going in this relationship with you. You get $1 million every year that you marry me. And he did a prenup.
He learned from his first wife.
He learned from his first wife. See, so he did a prenup. But why do people want things? It's to impress other people. You ever see men talking to girls, you know, I got this big old house out there on Martell, all by myself, and I just need somebody to come out there and keep me company. Oh, you got a house? Yeah, I got about 4 or 5 cars out there. You know, we can drive. All the man wanted sex. But he had to impress her with his house and with his cars, as opposed to a natural relationship under the natural law. If he talked to her long enough, hell, he'd get anything she got. Rape ain't nothing, but you know what all rape is? All rape is you moving too soon. Because if you take time and talk to a woman and tell her what she want to hear, you're going to get it anyway. If you take time, impatience, if you take time and be patient and explain what you're doing and ask her to come and help you, and she start working with you, she's going to give you her talents anyway. But most men, they don't have the intelligence to even put an intelligent line down to even talk to a woman. So the woman see that the man is anxious about her sex, and the man see that the woman is anxious about his money, and so they into a prostitute relationship. They do. I bet you half the people that married is in a prostitute relationship. Because if you ain't been to God to see about your marriage, you ain't married no way. Really. I tell you what. He somebody does. I tell you what you do. Be with a woman for 10 years. Y'all living off her salary and your salary. And y'all doing fine. You got everything you need, you're doing fine. And mess around and let her come into a couple of $1 million. What you think gonna happen? In this diaspora, what you think gonna happen? She come into a couple of $1 million, and you still making your 50,000, and she's sitting there with, what you think gonna happen? If she is of God, ain't nothing gonna happen, but y'all gonna keep on growing and investing. Yeah. If she's not of God, hey God, I gotta move. And where I'm moving to, $50,000 men don't live. You understand? So you got a problem. Because her mind hasn't been transformed to the configuration of God. You know, the Bible says, be ye renewed. How does it go? Be ye renewed. Be ye be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that you may be transformed with a God mind. And if you have a God mind, things don't bother you no way. Do you know a God minded man don't care nothing about money? What he does care about is order and peace and development and stuff around him, but he don't care nothing about no money. God minded man, because he know what? God can fix anything he want to fix.
That's right.
Care nothing about no money. You can't impress him with no money. You come with $1 million. hey Mike, I want you to go do some crazy. No man, I ain't on that. It ain't on that. I mean, okay, money buy things, but what do they buy? The things that I don't need. Cause I'm doing fine now. Are you eating every day?
Yeah,
See? Do you have a place to stay?
yes,
Do you have clothes?
yeah,
See? Do you have a way to get done the stuff you want to get done?
yeah.
What? God done took care of your needs. God done how many days have you been, if you went hungry, how many days did you go hungry? Not much.
Not many days.
Do you have shoes to wear?
Yes.
Do you?
Mm,
You have clothes to wear?
yeah.
Okay, well God done took care of you then. But we want the best clothes. We want the sharpest shoes. For what? So somebody can see them, and when they see them, they think high of you. That ain't the way it works in black community. When they see them, they want
They won't.
Some truth to that.
Yeah,
It's
look,
a dangerous situation,
The
huh?
shoes, the shoes I got on, ain't nobody want them.
They don't want them.
They don't want 'em. They don't want 'em.
In Chicago, they used to rob and steal jackets. People's jackets and jack up with shoes, tennis shoes. When the Michael Jordan shoes come out, hey man, unanswer them shoes, I got to have. Stealing people's shoes. Don't know what disease the boy got on his feet, but they take his shoes. I'm telling you,
Oh, yeah, we don't care.
and God done gave you the knowledge how to make shoes, and you there around there stealing. That's the problem I had with, our ex-mayor.
Mike White.
No. After
Frank Jackson.
Frank Jackson. Frank Jackson had a grandson. His grandson called himself a thug. He down there ripping and robbing people. And when his daddy sit over the city, my granddad sit over the city, all he had to do was go to granddad, look, I just graduated, I need a job. His granddad would have given him any kind of job, would have made sure that he had a good paying job. But the boy didn't have enough damn sense to go ask his granddaddy for a legitimate job. He want to stick up people. And you know where he's at now?
No.
Where he at now, Mike?
In his grave.
In heaven, I hope.
He's in heaven. Or someplace like that. Because he didn't have enough sense to go and ask his granddad, granddad, give me a job. I don't need to be running these streets. I need to be in a job in a program where I'm learning something. And his granddad would have did
He
it.
probably helped him get in the program.
But see, with black folks, when you can't tell them nothing, they don't want to listen to nobody. One got him, head straight to hell. Head straight to hell. Because one got you. If you're eating every day, Dantes, and you feel and you full, you know how many people ain't full?
A lot.
Yeah. Go to Bombay, India. Go to Calcutta. Go to Africa.
Go down
Go to
there.
Rwanda. Go to one of them places. Their belly's not full, but your belly is full. There ain't no need of you doing that derogatory stuff. And the only reason you do it because you're trying to impress somebody. And how can you impress a culturally retarded person? You can do all you can do.
What
I
did
see.
you say? What?
A culturally retarded person.
Culturally retarded.
Retarded person.
Okay.
You
That's a
can't-
good one.
That's something new.
You can't impress them. Oh, they'll give you your great your shine for the moment. Oh, that's cool. My God, I like that. That's cool. But then they're going down the road, won't listen. Now, when I said, now I want to talk about, me and James were talking about relationships. What break relationships up? What break relationships? That's the next
A man
thing.
going with another woman.
No, yeah.
That breaks it up.
What break relationships up?
Don't ask me. I've been married 3 times.
So you still
Don't
trying to
ask
figure it
me.
out,
Only thing I can offer is an opinion. I don't much it's worth.
Tigger.
Come on, put that.
I'm
Put
with
one
you.
on up there, put one on.
You know, the major thing to break relationships up is
Did you say money?
Money, lies.
lies.
Money is part of it.
It'll break in it. A lie, let me tell you how powerful a lie is. Lie, it can't build nothing now.
Okay,
Lies can't build nothing.
okay.
But it's as dangerous as you putting dynamite in concrete. That lie, man, that lie, it is something. That's why I often tell people, tell the truth. I don't care where it takes you. Takes you to jail, tell the truth and go to jail. Because long as you want truth, you're still with God. When you get off the truth and start telling lies, you're not with God no more and He can't protect it because He don't protect lies. Lies break relationships up. Her lies, your lies, somebody's lies break relationships up. But, okay, you take like a female and a male, their minds. If this is a female and she got false assumptions, and a male got false assumptions, you got false, she got false, that's gonna be broken up. You know why? Because when the truth comes, it's gonna kill that false assumption. What's a false assumption? This is a false assumption. This is a white man's world. That's a lie, it ain't. The earth belongs to the Lord and the fullness thereof and everything that dwell within.
Amen.
So if you got a woman thinking that this is a white man's world, and you know the truth, y'all in a collision course. Because two cannot sleep in the bed lest they touch and agree. See?
That's true.
Two can't stay together. There's a lie and the truth. They lie in the bed. That lie gonna get up because it can't stand being around the truth. And then it'll come out in ways like when you say something, nah, ain't right. Or when you, why would you do that? To come out in ways of nastiness. You know what you should have did was she don't even know what the hell she should have did. Now she's trying to tell you what you should have did. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think you should, in the black community, like my own personal example, my father had 7 siblings, and every last one of them divorced, including my father and my mother. They didn't divorce until they had been separated for several years. The point I'm trying to make is that a lot of times we don't see examples of long-term relationships and marriages working.
That's true.
From a personal perspective, I can say that for me. I never saw it.
A long last
My paternal grandparents stayed together until my grandfather died. But my grandfather was brutal, and he wasn't the nicest man. That was in the days when, a lot of women weren't working, and my grandmother had to stay. But it wasn't a happy marriage.
Right.
So a lot of us don't grow up seeing. I never saw my mother and father really express any affection towards each other.
No, that's right. They know. Now my mom and dad, they broke up too when I was a kid.
Do you think that because when we look at yesterday versus today, we have like 5 times as many higher divorce rates than we had, say, in our grandparents' day, right? But the more we are educated, so do you think that and I'm just gonna say it like Eurocentric educational system play a big part in our truth, whether we can tell the truth or not, because we've been indoctrinated to believe the lie, so we don't know that it's a lie. You know what I'm saying?
That's
because
where
we
false
don't have
assumptions come
enough people
You're right.
teaching us the truth.
The truth.
And
That's
that's
what
from the
false-
pulpit to our school system.
Right. But
You see what I'm saying?
now,
I do want you to think about, though, the fact that the difference between back when our grandparents, great grandparents was married as to now, is think about all of the black independent women that got college degrees, that
That's
have the
what I'm
financial
talking about.
capability
Right.
to leave and support
That's true.
themselves.
That's true,
As
too.
opposed to
Not-
back in my grandmother's day. My grandmother, as far as I know, she did little things on the side, but she never had a 9 to 5, as far as I know. You know what I'm saying? Whereas today,
Black women are independent, more independent, right? So they
Yeah.
don't need, but is that education playing a part in our demise as black men? You understand what I'm
Right, I see
saying?
what you're saying,
Because
yeah.
when I look at like white divorce rates compared to black divorce rates, they have some. You got some white couples. They ain't gonna divorce no matter what. You understand? That's just their belief because they've been taught that is just unacceptable. We are sort of have been taken away from that doctrine. You know what I'm saying? We don't see. We've been taught that a good run is better than a bad stand, and I get that to a certain extent. But we don't try to
Work it out.
approach our problems right from a godly stance.
You know
See
what
I'm
we
saying?
majored in doing? We majored in trying to make our marriage like white marriages. Because hell, if you go to a white college, there, whose idea you got? You got
That's
a white
true.
ideology.
There you go.
And so you're trying to make your marriage like a white man make his marriage, and that ain't our background.
but let me ask you this. I just want you to think about this. I say this as a father of a daughter. I only have one child. That Ernie and I were talking about our situations. My daughter turns 30 in July. I'll be the first. Well, first of all, I don't know if I had the ability to do it, but I don't think that, especially a lot of black women who are single moms and whatnot, I don't think black women are being raised to be wives. I don't think they're being raised to
gotten
be wives.
away from our
Even in my sense, you know, I told my daughter, go out there and get your education, this, that, and so you can take care of yourself. Never even thought about it. Never even crossed my mind. So one day you could be a good mate for somebody. It's all about being able to take care of yourself.
You know why? You're right. Because one thing we don't teach in the house nor in school, we don't teach this. Character development. We don't teach it. What is character development? How to tell the truth, how to be kind to somebody, how to do the right thing in the wrong situation. That's character development. And within our culture, we don't teach it. And our kids, they go out to that, you know what they do? What they learn on Power Ranger, what they learn on, that's what they accept as culture development. We don't teach it, and we need to teach it. In fact, I talked to the superintendent of schools, Eric Gordon. I said, Eric, what you need to put in the schools is character development classes. Because without character development class, our kids don't stand a chance. In fact, Muhammad Taghi Gandhi, he said there's only 2 stages of, he said, you teach them letters, that's English, and math, how to count. And the third thing is character development. After you learn how to write, learn how to count, third thing should be character development. And without, they can learn the other 2, but without this, they'll not treat people. They take people for granted. You know, they'll not treat people. And character development can go right back to the Bible. He says it right there in the Bible, you know.
So, with that being said, and you mentioned Eric Gordon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about CMSD as far as their curriculum. You know what I mean?
I know where you're going with
Yeah. So when you look at the curriculum that our school district teach from,
Right.
who designs that curriculum. He may want to do what you say and he may agree with you, but it has to be approved at a state level. You understand what I'm saying? Because even though we are mayoral ruled, the curriculum that our educational district teaches comes straight from the state. Because that's why we are graded at a state level, all 607 school
But
districts.
some classes he can put in, some classes like financial literacy, he can put that in on his own. Character development, he can put it in on his own.
Are you sure?
On the outside, yeah, because all the state required is so much English, so much math, so much science, and so much history. Now the other stuff you can add to that.
And Jim,
See, a specific school district can add to it, but they gotta have that basic necessity. Those classes.
The four R's.
Yeah,
Reading,
they're
writing,
basic for the
arithmetic,
state.
and what's the four?
Reading, writing,
read, write, arithmetic.
And something else, ain't it? Go with that.
4 R's or 3 R's?
3 R's.
3 R's.
3 R's.
So what? And the reason that I mentioned that is because when they were looking for a new CEO to replace Eric Gordon, they had these public input meetings, right? And one of the biggest grievances that the CMSD teachers had was the fact that they not only wasn't able to have any input in the curriculum, but they also was getting, they wouldn't get the year's curriculum until maybe a week before school started.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So they were saying that they had ideas, but the state was in the way, and they considered the state's curriculum as a speed bump.
Right. In all of it, let me tell you this, all of our institutions are subletted by white definition. What I mean by that, at the height of them is a white committee that's over that, telling you what your limits are. At some juncture, people are gonna have to fight that and just go ahead on anyhow and say up them and just go.
I agree.
And go ahead on anyhow. And
I understand your passion.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he used to be insistent.
Now,
Well, that's what they doing with Black History.
Right.
That's coming from the state legislatures all across the country. So I understand what he's saying, because, you know, they're able to come in and say, remove that.
Right.
And we don't want this being taught.
right.
And that doesn't matter what the superintendent of Cleveland Schools or any other school district feels about it. That's gonna be removed. We don't want that taught.
Unless there's a fight. Look, man, when I go to Mike, I said, Mike, how much money you got in your pocket? He said, $100. I said, I want that. And he said, no, you ain't getting that. At that point of tension, there's a fight coming up. You see what I'm saying? Either I'm gonna go in his pocket and take that 100, or he gonna beat my butt and get me off his game. But at that point, and wherever we find a point of attention, we're supposed to fight. We're supposed to fight. That's what, see, ain't but two states for man work in war. And when the war come in? At the point of attention. Work and war. Work and war. God knew we had to go to war. Hell, that was when he told them how to fight. When you go down to the river and your people bow down to drink some water, the ones who lap like a dog, send them home. But the ones who kneel down on their knees, put them in your army. God told us how to fight at the point of attention. See, if Russia said to America, I'm coming over, I'm going to devastate America, all of us had to fight, because that's the point of attention. You see, all of us have to fight if we want to save our homeland. Not that we agree with America, she's wrong as hell. But if I want to save this little house up on the hill, I tell that I got to fight. And so, but I want to say one thing about what you said. After I told him that we need to have character development, I know he couldn't do it. I know he couldn't do it. But what I was looking for is an intelligent response. What was that response? Well, Harris, you know how to do it? All right, start the program and I'll back it up. See, that would have been intelligent. I don't know how to do it, but do you know how to do it? And if you do, would you write up a program so that we can do that?
Well, did you say what his response was? That you did.
Yeah,
I missed it.
What was his?
He what? He didn't. He said he'll look into it,
Right.
but he never got around to doing it.
So he gave you the Negro.
He
treatment.
gave me a response.
He gave you
but
the Negro
I know he
treatment.
couldn't do it nowhere because he don't know what character development is.
But see, here's
I
my
know.
point to that. Here's my point to that. He has a job to perform, right? And he works. He has a boss,
Yeah.
to put it in layman's terms. He has a boss. And if he just pleases his boss, then he's subject to lose his little $200,000. I mean, our superintendent now makes $239,000. No,
Yeah.
$297,000 a year. So, he probably in his spirit would like to do it, and he probably knows it's right. But is he willing to compromise and fight for that and lose his little cushy thing? Now,
Why?
So-
Because go back to want and need.
I understand.
We needed it, but because he wanted his salary and he wanted the money to come with his salary, he didn't rock no boat.
Or maybe we have a good case, but sometimes we plead to the wrong judge. You understand
true.
what I'm saying?
That's true.
See, Eric Gordon in his heart probably would like to do it, but he knows there's consequences. So
He answered to the mayor.
Yeah.
And to the school board, right?
Well, yeah, he has to take his marching orders from the state and from a higher authority. You see what I'm saying? And they say, don't do it. That's just like on my job, if they give only 6 days per year for sick time, and I take 8, then I have to be prepared to do the consequences. So I agree with the fact that we need to change or fight. But a lot of times we have to understand who to take that fight to.
But let me show
You
you
know
how
what I'm
God. Let
saying?
me show you how smart God was. He said, "Now, why do you ask a man? Why do you ask a man to do what you know he can't do?"
Right.
So he said, you do it. So what I started doing, I had an audience of like, hey, Madam President, I had an audience of like 40 people, 40 students. So I wrote it into my curriculum with my 40 students. And I started teaching character development. So that's how I got around him. I wish everybody in the whole school system could learn. But I knew that these 40 would learn it. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I got around him. But we was talking about our central theme up here, Ted, and bring you, Madam Chairman, today. Why do relationships break up? If you've been in more than 1 or 2 relationships, you should have some information on this.
I'm looking at the president.
Look at me for.
We all still trying to figure it out.
He's still trying.
I don't have no answers.
That's $1 million question. isn't it?
Shoot, people grow.
I said
Tell us something about it.
I said that the major reason why people break up is because of lies.
Oh, jeez.
See,
That's true.
major.
You don't know.
because they
That's
don't.
true.
So I tell you, see, because here's what I know. That the security of a relationship is based on the purity in the relationship. I know that's a fact. And if the relationship is secured based on purity, can't nobody break that up. You try if you will. Can't nobody break that up. Because, for instance, I used to give this example. Say, I'm downtown, James, and I run into your wife. And then we talk, and then we buy a restaurant. I said, come on, let me buy you something to eat. We go in there and have something to eat. when your wife got home, she said, James, look, you know, I ran into Ernie downtown. We had lunch together, and we talked. As opposed to, I ran into your wife, we had lunch together. When she got home, she didn't never tell you.
Yeah.
And she kept that information from you.
Then I find out from
And
someone
then
else.
you found out from someone else.
That's not
Right.
good.
That's not good. That's not a good thing. Because you figure somebody done lied to you.
It's the live omission.
They're live omission.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Now, I may be old fashioned in that regard, but I don't feel that my wife, you know what I'm saying, should sit down and have a lunch with one of my friends. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Because I think, you know,
Yeah.
I would never do that to her, whether I tell her or not. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that'll give her the ammunition to say, "What you doing? Who told you?" You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't put out-
So yeah, that is, you know,
But-
I don't know if I would be.
But then you
agreeing
got to
with
question
that.
yourself. How much she do you don't know about?
Well, see, that's the problem. I'd rather not know if it's not
But not
within
knowing is still
respect of
omission.
our relationship.
It's still omission. Not knowing is still omission.
That's true.
I knew a guy that he was an older guy that used to tell me his wife and him had an understanding that one of my friends stopped by, one of my male friends, and I ain't here, he don't come in.
That's true.
Right.
That's
Now
true.
you know me.
That's true.
Oh,
And I didn't think about that. You know, I said, wait, what's the problem? That's your best friend. Is that? He said, nah.
If he
I don't
had
even
home-
want to come in.
When I was in the service, when I was a
Oh, thank
dependent
you.
wife,
I come back.
I had the neighbors across the street. We good friends. Our kids played together and everything. And I went over there to see her for something. And he came to the door. He said, "Oh, Barb's not here. You can come in and wait for." Oh, no, that's all right. I'll wait till she come home. Let me go back across the street.
Yeah. I tell you one thing I don't do. If I meet you and your wife, say Ted and his wife come up, and I see Ted, I shake Ted's hand, but I won't shake hers.
You never shake a woman's hand unless she offers it.
Yeah. But I
That's what I was
just don't, you know, that's his woman.
Right.
I don't know how he feel about nobody touching his wife.
That's
So
right.
I don't want to touch his wife. I shake hands with Ted and I tell her how you doing, and give her all the appreciation, but I don't never.
Ooh, I do all
That sound
sorts
right
of
to
horrible
you, Ted?
things.
You like that too? That sound right to you? Yeah. Okay.
Now see me in the mornings when I go to work. I say good morning to all my friends and peoples and stuff. And there's a married couple, and when I see them both, if I see them separate, if I see them both together, good morning. I get a hug and a kiss. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? But and the wife will say, Daryl's over there, or he'll say, Tanya's over there. I'm like, oh, good morning, sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But you're a touchy, hugging person anyway.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Now let's look at another
Hug
thing.
too, and sometimes.
Let's look at another thing. False assumptions. All the false assumptions we've been raised with. All kind of false assumptions. False assumption that when you go out, the man pay. False assumption. When you get in the car, the man open the door. False assumption. All those false assumptions. Yet, with those false assumptions, if she had false assumptions, and say the man is searching for the truth, trying to find out the truth from God. What is truth? Why did you create me? What is truth? And she don't care nothing about his search, or care nothing about his endeavor to find out the truth. They're gonna soon break up.
I agree.
They're gonna soon, because two cannot touch it. If these two don't touch and agree, they're gonna break up.
If
And
God is not at the center of the
He's not at the center
relationship,
of the relationship.
then it's not gonna last.
It's not gonna last.
Okay, Ernie,
That's
Yeah.
you were saying about opening the door. That's a false assumption.
Well, it's a false assumption the man's supposed to do it. It's a polite gesture, but it's not. Man,
written anywhere.
Yeah, you
That's
do
me.
it because I know you're a kind of man. See, you're a kind of man. But,
And you know, my mother, she ain't gonna let no woman in her house on New Year's Eve. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
First person got to come through that door was a man.
Wow.
And what's the matter with your friend? Why he got his hat on in my house?
yeah.
Oh, I got the
They
shoes
put
over
$1
there.
over that door
Really?
for noon before midnight. It's a whole kind of, you know.
I ain't
False
hear that
assumption.
one.
It's a lot of false assumptions.
I tell
You
you
never
what,
heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put $1 up on something over that door.
I tell you what, I
Here's
used
a,
to
here's a
hate
false
when
assumption.
they say,
Woman don't put her purse on the ground.
That's right.
Oh,
Or a
nice.
man don't
Yeah,
put his
that's
hat on the
true,
bed.
On the bed.
I tell you, I don't like happy wife, happy life.
Right.
I don't like that because no party's happiness should be prioritized over the other.
Oh,
That's true.
Yeah.
Because if the wife the only one happy,
Where that come from?
I don't know where that
come
come from.
white people, man.
Our
we come-
whole educational system
That come
is
from white people,
designed by
right?
white people.
Because in their house, the woman run the house. Then come the baby, then come the working daddy.
Yeah. But when you, I think
He ruined her.
I think that sort of
Politically,
concept
though,
was
socially.
originally by us. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at our African ancient history, we studied nature.
Yeah.
We studied S-U-N instead of S-O-N. You understand? And if you look at any lion pride, they sort of operate under the same auspices, or that may be where they got that from, because in nature, the lioness is the one that really do the hunting.
Really do the work, yeah.
She do the work.
Yeah.
He
But-
comes
but-
in when there's a discipline, or
Okay. Oh,
every now and then
Yes, fresh meat. Who's the first one there?
he is.
Yes.
Yeah, and he
Eats first.
Yeah.
and he let everybody else see the court to his will.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But she take care of the babies and
She take care of the babies.
You
And
know,
help him fight it. Too many meals come around.
that's right. That's right. Now there was in sales, when you are in sales, one of the I guess you say one of the rules that they kind of push, or one of the curriculums of door-to-door salesmen in particular, that when you are in front of a couple trying to sell a couple something, you concentrate on the man because he's the head of the house, but you concentrate more on the women because she's the neck that turns the head.
Yeah. But let me ask you
That's
something.
the concept that they.
But let me
they
ask you something.
sort of-
Yeah.
Who in the house is the reason they spend the most money?
The woman. Are you seeing who's the
Who in the
cause,
Yeah, who
or
spend
who's
the most
supposed
money?
to handle the money?
No, I'm saying who spend the most money? Who they spend the most money on?
Kids.
Absolutely. There you go. She's right. The kids. Because the kids persuade the woman to buy them stuff. And the woman's always at the mall. Well, I'm getting this for Julie. I'm getting that for Julie. I'm getting this. Yeah, and so they market their thing with the kids.
Right.
And then the kid do what? Go back and beg mama so hard. And mama get tired of her begging, she go and buy it. And she convinced daddy to give him the money to buy Junior the thing he's begging for.
Well, she ain't gotta convince daddy. Daddy's job is to go get the check,
Yeah.
bring it home,
Drop it off.
and set it on the table.
Yeah.
And then mama's supposed to manage the
Manage
finance.
the finance.
Cause see, daddy ain't gonna act right.
Right.
You know, he wants to stop at the bar before he get home with his check.
You spend all my
I
money.
don't
Then
know
it's
what,
sharp.
I don't know what women you talking about, cause my mother used to be like, we going in this store, don't ask me for nothing.
So what other reasons what other reasons break people up?
Money.
False assumptions, money. Why do money break people up?
We always argue on money.
Why would you argue over money?
They don't have enough.
For what?
Cause you got more than, if you got more than her, she mad because you got more than her.
To do what with? gonna spend it on needs or wants?
I'm gonna spend my money on needs.
Then why would a woman, we just finished talking about this a minute ago, why would a woman, knowing that Ted's rich, and I just got a job, why would a woman wanna run off with Ted as opposed to me?
Well, that depends on what kind of woman she is. If she's a gold digger, she going with Ted.
If she's a gold digger, she going with Ted.
They were just talking about that on the radio.
But, so since Ted got so much money, probably what led Ted to that is greed. Because if you was working on, that's what you needed. See, want lead to greed. See, and then we just finished talking about this, like, when a man see, the question is become a tug of war. If you get to my money before I get to your sex, then you won. If I get to your sex before you get to my money, then I won. But if we mutually hold off, we can hold off for a marriage license. But that marriage license have to be, what did I say, a prenup. If it's a sensible man and got a lot of money, why the marriage have to be a prenup? Because you know she coming after your money. So why would you marry her open-ended? Just like Tiger Woods. He had to give his wife $100 million. And then Michael in the spring, Mike learned.
His first wife, oh my God.
Oh, she took it for $150 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's exactly what he did.
So why would he? I guess that's a pretty level argument. But if I truly love you, you understand? Then why am I concerned whether you gonna run off with my money? You understand what I'm saying? And a prenup is sort of like, what's my motive? I'm scared somebody gonna run off with my money.
Yeah, but you saying if you really love and that's
Question.
you. But what if you gotta ask her the question? Does she really love you?
Oh, your question,
Right,
I'll tell you,
right.
yeah, because you got a lot of money.
And
But you also gotta think about something else, though.
yeah, that's true. So if I have any notion if I feel that then I ain't got no business marrying her.
But see, but
If
love
I
ain't
feel
like
that
that.
there's
Love
a
overlook
chance.
all of that.
I
But
know,
let
I
me say
know.
this though. Just consider this though. When you, like, for instance, the founder of BET, his name is Bob Johnson.
Mr. Johnson.
His first wife was with him when he built that.
Yeah,
Right,
Okay, so that's a little different
absolutely.
than when she meet Bob Johnson. He already got $2 billion.
Right.
It's one thing if that woman is there from the beginning when you ain't got nothing,
Right.
and you build it up.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, she should get a fair share.
Yeah. So
Now-
Mike's wife was there when he used to build it up, wasn't he? They was going together in college, weren't they?
Talking about who? Mike? Yeah.
Mike Jordan.
Mhm. Yeah.
She did
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But see, that's the thing. Lies, you can't always read through it. You can't look at what they say. Like Sam Wesley used to tell me, watch what they do.
Don't watch their lips, watch their hips.
Watch it. See, if a person, truth is in what he do.
That's true.
Not in, because I can sit here all day and tell you I'm a doctor, but then neither one of y'all gonna let me operate on this. Because damn my lip, what I do?
There's a difference between an earned doctor and an honorary doctor. Huh?
That's right.
Anybody can be an honorary
I've
doctor.
been in the medical school and high and low. All right, so if these things break us up, how do we start a generation of people that won't break up, that vow for life, and vow to protect their children and their family for life, and they won't stop breaking up? See, because I know it ain't specificity, it's fundamental. What I mean by that, all women, can't no woman give you no more than another one give you. Because they women. They're women. And can't no man give you no more than another man. See? That's fundamental. Specificity is how they look. Oh, he got cat eyes. Oh, he got curly hair. Oh, he this and he
They
that.
look good.
But that ain't,
Very, very
but
good.
yeah, specificity ain't nothing. That's the outside. That's the outside. What they look like on the outside. Fundamental. is
Show
how
them
they deal
nothing
from
about the
inside.
inside.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is,
We married, I'm saying we married because of specificity and not fundamental.
so there's I think that speaks to Carter G. Woodson's book, The Miseducation of the Negro.
Yeah.
So in order for us to change that, we have to re-educate the Negro,
Sure.
right? So that's what I would say the solution is. The re-education of the Negro,
For
because
everything.
right, we turn our kids over to the Eurocentric, which is what leads to a lot of what you're saying, right? Because we've been educated to think and react a certain way,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
So in order for us to change that, we have to change the educational system like they did us when they brought us over here. They stripped us of all our characteristics, right?
Mhm.
You know, everything we knew, they took it away and indoctrinated their theology into us. So I don't see us being able to get around because we turn our kids over to the Eurocentric educational system at the age of 5, and sometimes we don't get them back to after college, and we never get them back, really. So they are being indoctrinated by that system that you just explained.
You're right, but one of the things we can do, we can begin to send our kids to Africa for an education and let them stay there 2 or 3 years, that they thoroughly indoctrinated in African culture, and to their memory come back. I am such and such. Oh, this is not Africa. This is Takafala, whatever.
Right.
You know, till we get a whole different indoctrination, you know, of black culture. That's one way we can do
But
it.
you also got, you know, when you talk about your child going to Eurocentric education, going to schools that offer that, you got 18 years to put in to them what you know and your experience as a black man in America,
Right.
and what their experience is going to be as a black man or woman in America.
Yep.
And it's incumbent. I don't think you can take the parents or the caregivers off the hook. It's incumbent upon us to indoctrinate our kids about what it means to be black in this country.
Yeah.
But I think that it should be it should be real. You know, it should be truthful. But I also think that you should temper that with positive images,
Positive reinforcement.
not necessarily positive reinforcement, but positive images and I can't
Culture.
articulate it. And the proper and black culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The stuff that they take away. So also that means some parents don't know, some parents and caregivers and grandparents or whoever the caretakers are, they don't know about Carter G. Woodson.
That's
They
right.
don't know about the African tribes and the Dinka and the Watusi and all those tribes and the different Ghana and the motherland and all that good stuff. So they also have to be educated or educate themselves, you know, so they can teach their kids.
Right.
That's why I say we should send our kids back to Africa. They got good universities and schools in Africa. And we should, especially in
Best.
Ghana and Burkina Faso and all through there. Nigeria, they got good schools. And without even putting a heavy emphasis on it, just being there would reacculturate them to their natural settings.
But if we could get them, you know, because realistically it's kind of hard to send our kids, you know, to Ghana or to Africa. But if we can get their curriculum to come to us, because you don't have to be in a certain location geographic.
But-
We need that curriculum, but the problem, the speed bump I think that we would run into is
Bring
that
another culture
those
into
who
this
control the curriculum will never let it happen, or they haven't had it let it happen in all this time. It's always been there. We started the first year universities in the world,
Sure.
in Europe.
But you see, but you run into so many problems with bringing their culture into this culture and trying to educate your child, as opposed to just sending your child there. Just sending, or you and your child go there for 2 or 3 years.
But you know, Ernie,
Yeah.
it's unrealistic
Yeah, we need.
for
They gotta bring
most
it
of
to-
us to be able to do that.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta meet us.
you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
I
but
got
mean,
trips going to Ghana. This I got what?
How much do he charge?
$5,100.
Well,
Yeah.
can I borrow $5,100?
Look, right now
That's what he
two,
talking about,
Social
the
Security
reality of
checks
it,
and,
bro.
you know, I'm trying to catch up on the mortgage.
Yeah.
Man, you know how many ramen noodles I can buy with
Pancake mix and cookies I can buy with that.
But I think that it's possible to bring that curriculum here.
Into here.
If we could fight if we could challenge the powers that be to allow it to come here, like he was saying, how they trying to take away Black history, period.
Well,
They
like the
don't want it.
Lutherans, they start their school. Let's start African school.
That's what we need to
The
do.
Catholics start their school. Let's start African
Right.
school.
You ain't never seen an Asian. I live in Ward 7, right? Well, now it's Ward 8. But now I'm in 6. But in any event,
Yeah.
we got the largest Asian population in Cleveland, right there
Asian
on 30th and Payne, right?
Yep.
I have never once seen an Asian student going to Margaret B. Morgan, Daniel E. Morgan, Wade Park Elementary, and I'm talking about I've been here since the 60s, and I've never seen an Asian or one of them Jews going to a Black school.
Yeah, but I mean,
So you
They
just
got
said
their
something.
own schools,
So you
and
just
that's
said
what we
something. What
need.
did you say? You said that they got their school. Why can't we allow it?
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna tell you though.
It's like,
you know, you
Brown made his own school.
yeah, I promise.
Right.
The problem is, man, we disconnected from where we come from.
Start your
Those
own
people,
school, your own,
they're still connected to their home.
Always,
Yeah.
they stay connected.
Yeah.
They don't. But you don't see people. Hey, Flip, they're not actively trying to take away their culture
That's
or
right.
or you know what I'm
Integrate.
saying?
Integrate with us.
Yeah, they're not actively trying to destroy them.
Right.
And I think that's the answer to my answer to our question that you answered.
So let's
No.
get back to the thing, and then I'm on, because people coming in. So how you doing?
I'm
Good to see you in town.
Always happy to be here, man.
How you doing?
Okay. So why do Black people break up? Males and females. Why do we break up? When we say we love each other, is it true we don't really love each other? We're using each other for
People don't really love each other.
or we don't have
They just get together just to get together.
or we don't have enough knowledge on how to be married.
I think this is not a situation.
Enough knowledge on how to be married.
That's
Or
right.
you know, it's difficult living with another person. Especially when they make you mad, you get mad, they get mad, and so you living with this person.
Find another
You
woman.
mad, she mad, you mad, and so y'all walk around all day long with hallway sex. Y'all, you know what hallway sex is?
No,
You walk
what's
past
that?
each-
Pass
you
each
walk
other in the
past each
hallway
other in the
like
hallway.
us.
So, what is it that make us break up so easy? Rather than standing working out the problems.
That's a great
I
question.
think it's in the culture.
You think it's in the culture?
I believe that black people were inherently destined for greatness. And because we abandoned God, as it's stated in Deuteronomy 28, that we will suffer because of that.
That's true.
Okay, Deuteronomy 8, the blessings and the curses.
Yeah.
I believe that if you look in the Bible, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but if you look in the Bible, you'll see that Nimrod was the son of Cush.
Right.
That makes Nimrod black.
Oh, Nimrod was black.
Okay, he was also the first warrior, the first hunter, the first Christian. Okay, the Canaanites were cursed. Okay, by Ham. Okay, so the Canaanites were destroyed during the time of Joshua, I believe it was.
Yeah, Joshua won the
The
battle.
Canaanites and the Phoenicians are the same people. The remnants of Carthage came from Canaan.
But I believe a little different from you, in that though my people was cursed, yet though I do righteousness, that curse is removed. So that's how I just look at it like that. If Maybach, if you do good, then your curses on your family down the line, I believe God removed those because of her goodness.
Amen.
So the question is, do we communicate with each other? Before you go to bed, do you talk to your wives? Do you talk to your husband? Before you go to bed? Do you know, a big problem with us is that we don't like to share money with each other. So some fathers living in houses don't even pay no bills. Women pay all the bills.
What about the fabricated Willie Lynch syndrome?
Yeah, but we can outlive that just by living a righteous life.
What I was reading is that they were trying to weaken the strength of the black man, which was, according to the Bible, the man is supposed to be the leader of the family, generally.
But yeah, that's true.
And that Willie Lynch thing is we're going to weaken the black man, and that can,
But if that black man is connected with God, you can't weaken him.
and that's
You can't
what
weaken him.
that's what we haven't been.
And then too, can't nobody give you leadership. Let me tell you, do y'all really truly want to know what leadership is? Do you really truly want to know what it is? It's the man who stand on truth, who won't tell lies, he get his instructions from God, and he do it. See, leadership ain't no man. Leadership is a thought. Who have the highest thought in the room? Let's do that. It ain't never, God ain't gonna put nothing on no man. You ain't that. Leadership is an idea, it's a thought. Who came up with the thought? I tell you, let me tell you this, and I'm gonna finish, Madam Chairman, I'm done. A lot of the programs you see on TV about the movement in the South, a lot of those are lies. Like, for instance, you see John Lewis walking over the bridge. John Lewis didn't organize that march. John Lewis did. Amelia Boynton Robinson and Rem Douglas organized that march, but they got John Lewis out there. You see what I'm saying? She didn't been marching. And then in Birmingham, I just said, we just thought. And bright kids said, they ain't just thought nothing. Bevel went down to the schools, called the kids out to schools, and took them downtown. But they don't learn. See, they tell us a lie about our own history, and we believe it.
So What you're saying is that he who gives you the
The
diameter
diameter
of your learning
Yeah.
can dictate the circumference of your activity.
They
See,
can.
they teaching us the lie, right?
They're teaching us the lie.
And we don't know the truth because we've been taught the lie.
And not only that, and we'll argue with any black person who try to tell us the truth.
Do you think that applies to religion as well?
Everything that he have taught us, we got to go back over
And think
build our
analytically
lives.
about it.
Right. One thing about the Bible. The woman was taken from man ribs. That's a lie. You know that's a lie. Women don't come from men ribs. Men come from women. And then the Bible said God is always the same. He never changed. Well, why would you really think that a woman would come from your ribs? You ain't that popular, buddy.
So
They made that up so they wanted to put the man to be the dominant and the woman to be the
when you
subject.
say they, who was they?
White folks.
The Roman Catholic Church?
Roman Catholic Church, what?
The Church of England?
Church of England.
The church of white folks.
You know the Bible.
Because
was
do you
reread-
think-
Bible
now-
was reread 3 or 4 times.
Right.
You know what language was it first written?
And the original Bible is from Ethiopia. But the oldest Bible that we know of is from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Okay, that's
But I
the
guess
version.
when you look at history, right?
But
There are theology or experts who say that there's really no birth record for the black man,
it ain't.
right?
It ain't.
We are so old that time has erased our beginnings. So when we studying from the King James Bible, right, which is basically, what's that, 6,000 years ago? I'm before that,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm older than that. So when you say I'm the descendants of Ham or Shem, what does that mean? I'm cursed because I got,
No, the Canaanites.
right? And we so old. So how do I'm just speaking theologically because I believe in the Bible, but I don't believe that it's a book of history. I think that it's a book of prophecy, and it's a guide. It's the stories that's in the Bible are allegory stories. Because, and what brings me to that conclusion is because you can't show me proof that anybody in the Bible ever really existed. There's no archaeological finds of Mark, Luke, John, none of them. You know, you can't show me what Moses is. You can't show me what none of them are. So does that mean that, not that we throw it out because it's our guide, and I think that the reason why Jesus never said worship me, when you say, if you ask the average Christian, do you believe in Jesus? Do you worship Jesus? He'll say, yeah. Do you believe that Jesus is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost are all as one, equal? I don't believe that because even when I read the Bible, it says, God says he's a jealous God and don't put nobody before me. So if I put Jesus equal with God, then I'm creating another God to God.
Always do his daddy first. That's what I look at.
Who is his daddy? He is his daddy,
Yeah,
but
the spirit.
we've been taught that God and Jesus is one and the same.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the subject for next week. All right, that's our class for this week. I will see you guys next week, but we have another topic, and I guarantee you it will be worth listening to. So thank you for watching. See you next week. God bless. Okay, I'm all right. You know.